Clean Genes Protocol, a program to optimize your health and your life. The power of epigenetics. I've always been fascinated by the ways our bodies want to be healthy, and I've spent most of my life learning how to help them get there. As an undergraduate, I studied cell and molecular biology. I then became a naturopathic physician, a science-based practitioner who relies on natural methods to restore balance and optimize health. As I worked with patients, I realized that I also needed to become a specialist in environmental medicine, discovering both how the chemicals in our environment undermine our health and what we can do to detoxify our bodies. What made all my diverse studies come together was the field of epigenetics, the many, many factors that can influence how our genes are expressed. I had always understood how powerful genes can be, but wow, was I thrilled to discover that we don't have to bow down and submit to our DNA. Instead, we can work with our genes to create optimal health, if only we know how. One of the most important pieces of the genetic puzzle is a type of variation known as SNP, pronounced SNP, which is short for single nucleotide polymorphism. So far, roughly 10 million SNPs have been identified in the human genome, with each of us having over 1 million. Most of those SNPs don't seem to affect us very much. Yes, they represent a slight variation or abnormality in various genes, but so far as we know, those variations don't seem to make much difference in the way our bodies function. Some SNPs, however, can make a huge difference in our health, and in our personality as well. For example, SNPs in the MTHFR gene can create a whole host of health problems, everything from irritability and obsessiveness to birth defects and cancer. Note that I said can. They don't have to. That's what this book is all about. SNPs in the COMT genes can lead to workaholism, sleep issues, PMS, problems with menopause, and again, cancer, along with boundless energy, enthusiasm, and good spirits. Yes, many SNPs have an upside as well as a downside. Health issues that had puzzled my clients for years suddenly made sense when they discovered through our work together that their SNPs had at least partly created those issues. Problems that had seemed overwhelming, even dooming, became manageable as clients learned that they could use diet and lifestyle to reshape their genes' behavior. I experienced that kind of aha moment myself when I discovered that I have at least 3 significant SNPs. I finally understood something about why I'm so focused and determined, some might say obsessive. I also saw why I can suddenly become irritable at a moment's notice and why I react so intensely to certain chemicals and fumes. It was a relief to have this new understanding. Things made sense to me in a way they never had before, plus I had some new solutions I could rely on. As you read this book, you'll have the chance to make the same kind of exciting discoveries about yourself. Most important, learning about my SNPs empowered me to take charge of my health. Finally, I could support my body and brain with the diet and lifestyle that they needed. For the first time in my life, I felt like I was working at the top of my potential. I wanted my patients to have the same experience. Heck, I wanted everybody to hit that high. So I began to develop a program for cleaning up our dirty genes, what we should eat, which supplements could help, and how to create a clean genes lifestyle. I wanted us to be like that epigenetically supported mouse, glowing and healthy, no matter which genes life has dealt us. I knew that if I could just delve deeply enough, I'd find the answers. And now, 10 years later, I'm proud to say that I have. Oh, there's still a ton more I have to learn. The whole field of epigenetics is just getting started, and we're making new discoveries every day. I spend a big portion of every week doing my own research, and another big chunk of time reading the studies that my colleagues turn out. It's more than one person could ever keep up with, and that's the good news. In another 10 years, I'm fully confident we're going to have the power to take charge of our health in ways we can't even imagine.